Today I'm talking with Shoshana Fanitza at Meals on Wheels in Boulder, Colorado. We'll talk about her incredible new office and kitchen space, their community cafe, plans for the future, and a little about casino nights. All that and more on Behind the Meal.
Welcome to Behind the Meal. Join Dave Cowling as he dives into the stories behind Meals on Wheels, and we meet the incredible people and organizations that make it happen.
Today on Behind the Meal, we are thrilled to welcome Shoshana Fanitza.
You got it.
I got it right. The Development and Marketing Director for Meals on Wheels of Boulder. Shoshana joins us to share how her team delivers independent, community-sponsored nutrition and crucial well-being checks without relying on federal or state funding. Shoshana, thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. It's been it'll be been a while since we've had anybody from west of the Mississippi. The last few times it's always been on the East Coast, so we're glad to have somebody on.
Oh, glad to represent.
Yeah. Start off. Just tell us a little bit about your program in Boulder, and who you're serving and the community. What's it look like?
Sure. Well, we've been in Boulder since 1969. And since then, we are almost at the 3 million meals delivered mark. So we're pretty excited about that. We'll be celebrating that probably at the end of this year. And we deliver to the Boulder area. So it's mainly the city of Boulder plus Gun Barrel, which is an unincorporated area right by Boulder.
Okay.
And we serve about close to 2,000 clients. And so that equals to about like 350 meals delivered per day, each weekday. And then we have frozen meals on the weekends that we offer delivery on Fridays.
Okay. And the is it all pretty urban, or is that one space kind of a little bit more rural, or what's that look like?
Oh, it's pretty urban, I would say.
Okay.
Yes, it's not very rural around here.
Well, no, I didn't think it was, but when you mentioned the unincorporated area, I was like, oh, it could be. I don't know. Well, when you think about some of the unique aspects of Boulder, one of the big things, of course, that jumps out, and we mentioned it in the intro, is that we're not relying on federal or state government funding. But outside of that, because we'll get into that in a second, but what are some of the other things that kind of make your program unique, you think?
Well, we're pretty entrepreneurial for Meals on Wheels of Boulder, which is pretty cool. So this surprised me when I was interviewing for this position 5 years ago. And basically I found out that this Meals on Wheels has 3 social ventures attached to it. So basically, in order to fundraise constantly with these programs, they built a little market inside our building, and I can go more into that. It's called the Niche Market.
I saw that on your website.
Yes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Yeah. And then we have the Eat Well Cafe, which is our community service for the community. We provide lunches from 11 to 1 p.m., and that is a collaboration with the city of Boulder. And I can go into that a little bit more too. And the third social adventure is Thank Goodness Foods. And we have developed quiches, pies, and soups. So I thought that was pretty unique that this Meals on Wheels had these 3 social ventures attached. So basically they function as their own business, but they supply the nonprofit.
Is there a connection then between these programs and the folks you're serving, or are these more just fundraising opportunities?
There is a connection with the fact that all proceeds go to our mission.
Yes.
So there's that. It does service some of our clients, but for example, it is for the whole public, regardless of age or income. They can enjoy these products that we have.
So the market, it's not like a food shelf. It's a regular market, walking off the street, buy a dozen eggs.
Exactly. Well, kind of. So the Niche Market is mainly a convenience store.
Okay.
And it has a grab and go section, some convenience items, just things that you would grab to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And plus, we have our Thank Goodness Foods products there that we make fresh all the time.
That's your
and
brand.
So, yeah, that's our brand. And those products are freshly frozen. They're handcrafted, freshly frozen, ready to bake or ready to heat and eat. So that's our model, is basically convenience food, grab and go, heat and eat, ready to bake. So we try to make people's lives easier while helping to fund our mission. And what's a fun story about the niche market is we moved into our new building in 2020.
Okay.
So the story is we used to be at one of the senior centers in the city of Boulder, but they were expanding and changing their model to age well centers. And at the time they said that we need the room, so we are asking you to find another home. So we decided to look around.
Asking. I like that.
Yes. But we decided to look around and we couldn't find, it was like the Goldilocks syndrome where everything was either too big, too small, like the kitchen didn't work. So we couldn't find a place to rent. So we decided, okay, let's try seeing if we can do a capital campaign and get the funding and build our own building. And that's what we did. And we found a parcel of land that was attached to an apartment complex. And this landowner, it's an interesting piece of land. Like in the middle, there's a bunch of apartments. And then on the sides are little mini parcels that you can build other buildings. So, for example, we have a daycare center across the street from us. There's a arts organization a little further down, and I think there's another business that's going to move in soon further down the land. But we ended up talking with this owner, and he said, I will donate the land to you, which we were thrilled.
Yeah.
We were very excited. And he just mentioned, oh, do you think you can do a little grocery kind of store inside for our apartment complex? And we're like, sure, we can. So that's how that
You want to give us
about.
land and give us an opportunity to sell things. Okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sure, we can do that. So we already had like part of our Thank Goodness Foods brands created anyway. So we decided, that could be a perfect location for that as well. And it all came together once the building was built, and we opened up the store a few months down the road after we moved in.
Is this those ready to eat meals or heat and eat whatever meals that are those the same meals that you're delivering, or are they different menus?
No, they are not. They are made fresh by our chefs and our cooks back there. So we have like soups, salads. Sometimes they have like chicken bites, or there's all sorts of different things that we offer there.
Okay, and then come back to that. Let me make a note. So we've got, and so the cafe, is this in the same building?
No. So the cafe is at our old location. So what happened was the center still wanted a community cafe for their age well center. And they asked us to keep the cafe open at that location. So we're kind of like half in our old place and mainly in our new place. It's kind of an interesting setup. But the city helps subsidize this cafe. And then we do get the proceeds from the cafe that goes back to our mission. And it's like any other, it's a community cafe. It's fresh meals made daily.
And they're made there on site at the cafe?
Right. And then we also have our Meals on Wheels meal available as well. So we call it the full meal deal. So people get a choice of an entree from the 2 entrees.
Okay.
They get a salad or a cup of soup, and then they also get a beverage and dessert, all for $7.99.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it's a full meal deal. It's restaurant quality. It's award winning in our area. And people really enjoy it for the community atmosphere. They meet their friends there. It's great for meetings because the tables are a little bit bigger size. So the community really enjoys it.
That's awesome. And then do you have, so back to that connection question is, so if somebody's a Meals on Wheels participant, they're getting meals from from Boulder, and they go to the cafe. Are they paying for the full meal there, or is there a way? You mentioned that some of it's subsidized, but as an individual senior wants to go there to eat, is there? Oh, are they paying for the meal, or is there any other programs that help them financially as well, or?
Not at this moment. It is
No.
just
Okay.
$7.99 for
Which is
everybody
great.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, it's still a good price and we still have it affordable for our area.
Yeah. It's not like a
Basically.
congregate meal site where folks are coming in. Yeah. I see what you're
It's
saying.
yes, it's more like a cafe restaurant than
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. Yes.
Okay.
But it still
Uh,
has the same community feel.
sure. That's awesome. And so you have your own kitchen then at your
Yes.
building. So you're making
Yes,
meals,
we
daily
have
meals
our
there
own,
too.
and yes, it's state of the art industrial kitchen, and that's how we are able to make so many meals per day. And we have room for expansion too, which is fabulous. So
Wow.
we're ready. We're ready for the community.
I had to bring it up while you're talking. I'm looking at Google Maps at the building here, and I see the apartments, and yeah, it's nice. It's a beautiful building, and the mountains in the background. I'm sure what you see every day, but I'm in
Yes, I
Minnesota,
get the
so
prime view definitely from my window. We see the Flatirons and it's gorgeous. Yes.
oh, that's fantastic. More about the delivery aspect, those home delivered meal pieces of your work that you're doing. Is it mostly volunteer run? Do you have a lot of staff that are doing deliveries? Or maybe take us through a day. Like, what's it look like from kind of the start of the day to when everything comes back?
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, we are mainly volunteer run. We have about 18 staff in different various roles, but we are mainly
Okay.
volunteer run. About 125 volunteers per day are part of the mission. And basically, from like 6 in the morning, maybe even earlier sometimes, we have
Hmm.
some volunteers that help the kitchen staff get things ready. So there's that component. So we have kitchen
Hmm.
assistants. And then after that, we have some volunteers that help them pack the meals, get the meals ready, seal the meals. We have packers that pack the meals, and then we have some volunteers that are called runners that will then run the meals to the delivery people. And the
Okay.
delivery people come in, and usually we have like a big lobby party because everybody comes in our lobby, and the runners then bring the meals in the bags that have their route numbers on it. And then they're out the door delivering the meals, which is amazing. So it's a very efficient, it just runs like clockwork. It's amazing what they do. And like from 6 a.m. to noon, that's our mission is
Hmm.
being done, and then usually at noon it quiets down, and then the administrative staff is doing their thing during that time too.
And then getting
So
ready for tomorrow.
get ready for tomorrow. Yes, and we also have office volunteers during that time that
Hmm.
put the stickers on the bags and everything. So that happens the day before the next day. So we're always
Okay.
like a day in advance in order to get that done. So they're a very important component as well.
Hmm.
So that's why 125 volunteers with all of those aspects, and then we have a few volunteers that are in the niche market and the Eat Well Cafe as
Okay.
well that helps those run.
Kind of working as staff there. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
volunteers, they're amazing. We have some really fantastic volunteers.
Do you have some like business partnerships or places you're getting volunteers from on a regular basis, or are these or kind of a combination of folks coming in off finding you so looking for volunteer opportunities?
Well, we try to make us pretty top of mind and where in the public's mind. We
Hmm.
advertise, get into resource guides, things of that nature. We do have some partnerships with other nonprofits, but it's mainly for helping with resources.
Sure.
But for volunteers, it's basically just getting ourselves out there. The awareness brings people in.
So, and that's a big part of your job, I assume, is creating that
Yes,
awareness and getting that out there.
exactly,
Well,
exactly.
which brings me to something we were talking about before we started recording too. I was looking at your background and some of the language there that Looks great. I didn't know what it meant though. But you're talk about that again with audience development. Is that am I saying that?
Right.
Okay.
So aside from food, I kind of have a strange nonprofit background. I've been in nonprofits for years and years. And so one side of it, I have food security in different areas, but the other side of it is all the arts industry.
Okay.
So I have been on stage, off stage, around the stage, and behind the scenes as an arts administrator. So I was marketing director of the Boulder Philharmonic for a few years, and we went through this initiative called audience development. And it's a concept that's brought over from the UK and Canada. And basically, it's all about building your audience and getting more people involved in your arts organization, which also includes fundraising, building funding for your arts organization. So I fell in love with the concept so much that I decided to, kind of crazy, I quit my job and decided to build a consulting business called Audience Development Specialists. And I sang the praises of audience development for almost 15 years and, did conferences, workshops, seminars, and I worked with artists and arts organizations around the world.
Okay. Wow. And then you ended up here. Well, that's I was going to get to that later, but this is a good jumping off point. How did you end up where you're at now? I mean, what brought you?
Well, I would say in one
path?
word, COVID. So
okay.
COVID demolished my business.
You and a lot of others, right?
Yeah. I mean, at that time, arts organizations were pretty much at a halt because you couldn't go to see a theater program or symphony or whatever. So I had a couple clients that were virtual for a little while, and then it just kind of dried up. So I had to look for a job. And while I was looking, I found this Meals on Wheels post. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the other half of me, food security issues. I love this. And I interviewed and pretty much got the job in a day. It was amazing. Awesome. It just seemed to fit really well. And I've been here for 5 years.
Wow. I started here at Metro Meals in Minneapolis in February of 2020. So I was here for a few weeks and then we shut down. So
right. I was right in the middle of it. So I did interview with a mask on and things like that.
Yeah.
And learned about, it's kind of interesting. COVID actually made building our building a little more expensive too.
Well, I was going to mention, you mentioned it was built in 2020, and I was going to say,
it was built in 2020, and at that time the supplies, the materials, everything skyrocketed at that time. So it made it kind of expensive, but we just braced ourselves, got through it, and then I came in almost the year right after that. So yeah. Wow.
Well, I can remember going. The first theater we went to, live theater, my wife and I went to after COVID. It was interesting because you hadn't been in the space with all these people, and it was a small theater, actually really close to my office here, and it's a 50+ theater group. So, but most of them are well over 50 or 55 plus. It's and they were doing the Rocky Horror Show. So seeing a bunch of seniors do the Rocky Horror Show, it was a great way to get back into life again.
So. Yes, I was excited when the arts world opened up again, and I had considered going back, but because I love my job so much, I'm still here at Meals on Wheels of Boulder. But it's always a part of me. The arts world will always be a part of me, but I'm really enjoying my time here.
Oh, it sounds like you are. But what the other side of your job besides that the advertising for volunteers and the marketing and that audience building, you mentioned the fundraising side.
The fundraising aspect, yes.
That's so interesting to me. You're the second organization I've spoken with that doesn't do any state or federal funding, which is unusual, I'm sure, as you know.
Well, yes, Boulder's
for Meals on Wheels.
Right, exactly. Well, Boulder's a different type of area than many other areas. And we just realized that it would be good if we went beyond just seniors. Yeah. So if we were able to help anybody that's not able to prepare a meal or grocery shop, then we'd be helping more of our population. So that's what we decided to do when we first started in 69. And we kept going with that format. So our community is a huge supporter of us. So that's how we make up this gap as our community comes through. About 50% of our funding comes from our community. It's amazing.
When you say from the community, individual donors?
Individual donors, corporate sponsors, yes, local grants. So the community really helps.
And you talked about how Boulder, of course, was the city subsidizing some of with your
for the Eat Well Cafe, and yes, and then we do get some funding, some grant funding.
Sure,
but so yes, mainly it's individuals. It's amazing. Yeah.
And when you look at the folks you're serving, are they paying? Is it a sliding fee scale? Are they paying like a price, things like that? How does that work?
We do. We do ask for a contribution, and it is on a sliding scale basis. And right now, the bottom of the scale is about $1.50, and the top of the scale is $8. But we don't turn people away. So if they're unable to pay $1.50, we will work with them to make it happen.
Sure.
And where was I going with this?
Well, we're talking about the sliding feel and the sliding fee scale, and you're serving more than just seniors.
Exactly.
What does that breakdown look like? I mean, is it still mostly seniors? Would you say, or?
It is mostly seniors, but I will say that about 18 to 21%, depending on what the month it is that I'm
seeing. We'll say 20.
Yeah, just we'll put it 20%, are under the age of 65. Okay. And we do have people that are in their 20s on this program.
Okay.
And because anybody could have physical disabilities or mental challenges that prevent them from preparing a meal. So we want to be able to help those people.
And you have programs as well that help folks that are coming out of hospital and just need some like a short-term assistance too?
Yes, we do. I'm glad you asked. So we have something called Project Homecoming that was initiated in 2007. So we've been doing this for a while. And in fact, our president and CEO, Francie Phillips, delivered a talk at the conference years ago about Project Homecoming. So I think some other Meals on Wheels started doing this because she spoke about this initiative. And it started because her parents, both of them, were coming out of the hospital. And her father mentioned, how the heck are we going to feed ourselves? And both of us are like, we can't do it.
Right.
So then Francie's like, light bulb went off. And she's like, we should have a program for that. So because they fit the qualification, they're unable to prepare a meal or grocery shop for themselves. So because of that, Project Homecoming was built. And it's a program where people get 5 free meals when they transition from hospital to home.
Okay.
And they can stay on this program for as long as they need. But after the 5 free meals, they would then just join the regular Meals on Wheels program temporarily. Yeah.
And are you fundraising separate for that program, or is that just come?
We are not. So it is just part of the pool of money that we get. It would be great. I would love to find a sponsor for this program. I'll put it out there because it does cost money, but it is something.
Insurance companies in Colorado that are maybe listening.
Oh yeah, that would be a great fit. Definitely. So anybody who wants to, or somebody who's philanthropy minded that wants to fund this program would be great.
No, that's great. I mean, I know there's some programs that do mix in a little bit, they have things that go beyond just seniors, but it is, unusual, especially, some areas are more aging than others. What does Boulder area look like? Is it a growing area, a growing population of seniors, or where, are there other immigrant populations, things like that coming into Boulder?
So Boulder, the city of Boulder is a little bit different than the surrounding areas in Boulder County.
Okay.
We're very Caucasian. I'll put it that way.
I'm
We
in
have like
Minnesota, so you're not gonna,
yeah, we're 78% Caucasian, but in the surrounding areas, they are seeing a big boom with the Latino Hispanic population.
hmm
But for Boulder, we're pretty yeah.
So,
So in that sense, and in terms of seniors, we
mhm,
are aging like any other city.
sure.
So yes, we still are growing in that aspect for sure.
It's yeah, nothing short term anyway for culturally specific meals or things like that, but maybe down the
Well,
line.
what's interesting is our chef loves international food. So our
Okay,
menu is
is
very culturally
great.
oriented
Okay,
regardless. So
well,
yeah,
you're ready.
yes. Yes, we are ready. Like for example, we had a guest Lebanese chef come in
Ooh, my favorite.
so to make a meal. So
hmm
yes, we are open to doing culturally diverse meals for sure.
And do you do like any kind of medically tailored meals for folks as well, or
So we are borderline on that.
sure?
We can't claim that we're medically tailored, but a long time ago we did have a registered nutritionist come in
hmm
and help us build our meal program, and we give out as many choices as possible.
Sure.
So aside from the basic choices of vegetarian or um, fish only, different types of examples of preferences.
Yeah.
We also have meals that are low sugar, low sodium, low potassium, low whatever you need in order to help people that have those types of ailments.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, if you the folks you're serving for the most part, if they're having issues making their own meals, there's probably other things going on as well. So, in a lot of cases, as we see in a lot of programs, what would you say? Some of the are there any like any stories that you could highlight that kind of talk about the people you're serving or even volunteers that kind of give a good synopsis of the work you're doing?
Sure. Well, we have a story that back in December, one of our clients is a typical client on our program. And basically, she had no friends or family in the area. She was on her
hmm
own. And she does have troubles with preparing meals and everything. So she qualified. But she also had some health conditions.
hmm
And the volunteer got to know her a little bit better and found out that when they got there, the meal from the day before wasn't taken. So they figured that the first meal was like a knock on the door and
Mm-hmm.
maybe she didn't want to come. So they put it in her cooler. And then they noticed that the meal was still there. So they immediately called back to our client services department. Our client services department phoned the police, and the police went there to do a check on
Yeah.
this neighbor and found out that she was in dire need of getting to a hospital.
Yeah.
So they called the ambulance took her there, saved her life. And the police
That's great.
called us back and said, "You basically saved her life. You did it. If you hadn't called, she would not have made it."
Mm.
So that was like, it had everybody, we were so overwhelmed. We were in tears. It was
Oh,
just, yes. So
I
that's what we do every day is not
mm-hmm.
only is it a meal, it's a
Yeah.
well-being check. We make sure they're okay. We provide them with social interaction,
Yeah.
and they become friends of the volunteers. It's the relationships that have formed that we hear over and over again are just for both the volunteer and the
Yeah.
client.
No,
Yes.
and I think that's such a I don't want to say misconception, maybe it's too strong of a word, but people don't think about that enough when they think about Meals on Wheels. I think it's not just that
Definitely.
meal.
Yes, that social aspect is so important, and loneliness is just as bad as anything else out there that can harm a person. So,
Mm, for sure. And and being able to help folks stay in their home longer is so important too. So
exactly. And we hear feedback about that all the time that you helped us stay in our home. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yes.
maybe that's what it is, but what are some of the things that beyond just this is your job that are keeping you there, that made you make you love staying at Boulder at Meals on Wheels of Boulder?
Well, the mission is definitely in my heart. I just want to make sure that everybody does have a meal.
Yeah.
And the fact that we cater to a very vulnerable, almost invisible population of Boulder.
Sure.
So when you go on these routes, half the time I'm like amazed that we find the apartments because they're kind of like in and out. You would not notice these apartments half the time. So it's just such a wonderful mission to make sure these people are not forgotten.
Yeah. Well, and I guess obviously we all have our idea in our heads of what Boulder is, and we don't think about it's low income areas or folks that are in need of help. I think we see it's more the mountains and beautiful homes and things like that. And but it's great that you're out there doing that kind of work. What if folks wanted to get in touch with you or wanted to help out? What would be the best way to do something like that?
Well, you can go to our website, which is mowboulder.org.
Mm-hmm.
We're on pretty much all the social media platforms out there. So I could rattle them off: Facebook, LinkedIn, X, you name it. We're pretty much out there. And yes, that's how you can get in touch with us. The main, if you want to email us, the main email is info@mowboulder.org.
Great. Well, is there anything about your work or Meals on Wheels that you want to leave folks with?
Sure. Well, we didn't talk about events. We do have events yes. So we do have a couple events. We have one in the spring that we do, which was pickleball for 2 years in a row. We had Pickleball Palooza. And then we had a trivia night this year that seemed to go over so well that we definitely will do it again. And then in the fall, we are doing our second annual Deals for Meals casino night.
Oh, so say it again. Deals for
Meals casino night.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's going to happen in September. And we hire a casino company vendor to do all the casino part. There'll be chance games and other fun things going on that night as well. So we have fundraisers for the public. And I do want to say that in terms of the not being federally or state funded, we do have to make up that difference with other fundraising. Yeah. So it is challenging in Boulder. I just want to say that it is very challenging in Boulder. We have about close to 350 nonprofits in Boulder City alone.
Wow.
So imagine the fundraising, knowing that it is really challenging.
A lot of competition.
Yes, exactly. So if our mission is something that is close to your heart, then look us up.
That's fantastic. And I love the name Deals for Meals. So we do one here. I think others do it too, which is Meals on Heels, which is our where folks can dress up. But
I've heard of that.
I love the play on words. And what's the red, white, and blue pie promotion I saw too?
So that is our niche market. Okay. And our niche market, Thinkiness Foods, has the pies, quiches, and soups. Yeah. And so we do different promotions throughout the years for our quiches and pies specifically, and a big one in October, which is Souptober. But the red, white, and blue is a pie promotion that we have. And basically for our cherry, apple, and blueberry pies, we're just inviting people to grab their pies before the holiday.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, now I want some pie. Okay.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's can you start? Can we do mail order? Do you do like can you ship across country?
Not yet. We're not capable of that yet. We're hoping that in the future. I don't know how close of the future it is, but
and as you look towards the future, we'll kind of leave it with this. What are you thinking? What would you like to see? 5 years from now, 10 years from now for the program?
Well, we would love to expand more to bring more awareness of our mission. Mm-hmm. We do have to constantly remind people of the misconception that we're seniors only, that we do serve anybody who needs our service. So I'm hoping in 5 years that more people will be aware of this program and want to enroll if they need our services.
Yeah.
So that would, the expansion part of it would be probably the future. And we're ready. Our building is enabling us to be ready for that expansion.
Great. Well, and we saw so many people during COVID that weren't getting meals prior to that, and then got them because they needed them at the time, and realized that it's not the kind of thing that they thought it was. It's not the meatloaf sandwich somebody made. This is a good meal.
Exactly. And our program, I would say our meals are very tasty, and it kind of takes people by surprise when they get our meals. That we're not what they think that it would be. So, and we're very proud of the fact that during COVID, we served all throughout COVID. So, yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you again. That was fantastic. Every time we talk to somebody, I'm learning something new. So, and I hope other people are too. But we'll see what we can take back and hopefully incorporate into some other programs. I'm going to definitely look more at these deals for meals. That's my favorite so far.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
Cool.
Dave, for having me again.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Thank you, Shoshana, for your time and for all the work you do in Boulder and for your community. I might have to try to get in on one of those Deals for Meals events. It sounds like a fundraiser I would enjoy. Please like and subscribe to Behind the Meal so you don't miss any future episodes, and share us with your network. And once again, thank you for all the work you do. Goodbye.